Turning a 2-week Red Sea holiday into a permanent, cheap lifestyle sounds like the ultimate dream, until reality hits. The appeal is obvious. Record high inflation, soaring energy bills, and out-of-reach housing are driving thousands of UK residents to look for an exit strategy, seeking anywhere their money stretches further. Places like Hurghada on Egypt's Red Sea coast are obvious targets. You get year-round sun and an exchange rate that heavily favors the British pound. The people making this move usually fall into two camps. There are the holiday converts who fell in love with the resort lifestyle, and the budget relocators, strictly running the numbers to escape UK expenses. Establishing residency demands navigating a legal and economic framework that operates on rules completely alien to the UK. This table highlights the gap between vacation and relocation. Left is the holiday premise, cheap flights, tourist visas. Right is residency reality, negotiating leases, long-term visas. Cross to the right and resort infrastructure vanishes. There's zero hand-holding for foreigners establishing permanent roots. A fortnight at an all-inclusive buffet hides all of this administrative friction. So we need to strip away the resort marketing and look at what it actually costs in time, money, and stress to live in Egypt. Getting permission to actually stay in the country is your very first hurdle, and it is usually the highest one to clear. Most people start with the obvious options. You fly in and grab a 30-day visa on arrival, or you apply for a basic e-visa beforehand. Operating as a perpetual tourist severely limits your options. Without legal residency, you cannot sign a standard long-term housing lease, open a bank account, or access local resident pricing for basic services. This flowchart maps out the actual path to legal stability. You start at the visa on arrival, shift to an e-visa, and eventually have to push toward that large long-stay or residency node. Moving between these stages takes months. You will spend 30 to 90 days gathering stacks of paperwork, securing official translations, and waiting in government offices to get your applications processed. Reaching that final residency stage requires significant financial proof. You have to demonstrate a steady stream of foreign income or physically tie up your own capital in an Egyptian bank account to satisfy the government's requirements. If you try to avoid this by stringing together tourist visas through endless border runs, you take on constant renewal anxiety. You are always one rejected stamp away from having to pack up your life. Remaining undocumented also hits your wallet every day. Without a local ID, landlords and service providers default to inflated tourist rates for nearly everything you consume. Securing a stable legal foothold in Egypt is entirely possible, but you are effectively trading your UK financial anxiety for intense Egyptian administrative stress. The primary reason people endure that bureaucracy is the currency dynamic. You are earning strong British pounds while spending heavily depreciated Egyptian pounds. That exchange rate grants you massive initial purchasing power. Your money goes incredibly far when paying for local rent, fresh produce, and basic domestic labor. This chart compares those baseline costs. The left bar shows an average UK monthly budget, while the right bar illustrates a typical Egyptian baseline, covering rent, food, and standard utilities. But if you want to replicate a Western standard of living, you have to factor in the hidden costs. That requires a significant premium just to bypass local limitations. This foreigner premium includes mandatory out-of-pocket expenses. You will need comprehensive private healthcare coverage, high-end water filtration, and expensive backup internet data plans to keep things running smoothly. You also face extreme local inflation. If you hold any savings in Egyptian pounds, its purchasing power erodes rapidly as the local currency loses value. This creates a ceiling on your long-term financial growth. The volatility of the local economy makes it incredibly difficult to build stable, reliable wealth tied to Egyptian assets. Your fixed living expenses will drop significantly compared to the UK. However, maintaining a safe, continuously connected lifestyle requires constant out-of-pocket investments that eat right back into those savings. Beyond the hard math of currency conversion, you have to navigate the daily friction of living inside a developing economy. Relying on Egyptian public infrastructure is a gamble. The public healthcare system is chronically underfunded, and the municipal utilities frequently buckle under pressure.
When you need constant connectivity for remote work, rolling power cuts can completely destroy your ability to earn an income. Then there is the cultural reality of commerce. Outside of major corporate supermarkets, foreigner pricing is the default setting for almost every transaction you make. This leads directly to daily negotiation fatigue. The psychological drain of constantly having to haggle just to get fair market value on basic goods and services accumulates quickly. In the UK, you expect transparent, fixed pricing on a shelf. In Egypt, you are operating in an informal economy where the price is determined by how well you can negotiate in the moment. Egypt does not offer a plug-and-play Western lifestyle at a discount. The incredibly low cost of living is directly subsidized by the daily expenditure of your own personal energy and patience. We have to weigh all of these trade-offs: the cheap rent against the heavy bureaucracy, the sunny weather against the power cuts, to figure out who this move is actually right for. This matrix breaks down your suitability. The vertical axis measures budget constraint. The horizontal measures bureaucratic tolerance. The top right holds the ideal candidates, self-funded relocators with high patience. The bottom left shows who will struggle, tight budgets with low tolerance. Remote workers with flexible schedules and high adaptability sit right in the sweet spot. They can earn in British pounds, afford the necessary private workarounds, and fully enjoy the Red Sea lifestyle. If you expect an effortless, ultra-cheap retirement on the beach without doing the heavy administrative groundwork first, you will end up frustrated and on a flood it back to the UK. Relocating to Egypt buys you an incredible climate and immense financial leverage, but you must be willing to pay the invoice in bureaucratic friction. Let me know down in the pinned comment, what is the #1 thing holding you back from making the move? Is it the visa complexities, the hidden costs, or the fear of the unknown?